in that province now, which continues to be a hotspot for political killings. At least 33 people were killed, we understand, in KZN between January 2016 and June 2017. Now, with the local government elections coming up, more killings are feared, more violence is feared, especially after 3 women were killed in broad daylight at an ANC meeting at the weekend in Inanda. Let's discuss this situation now. I'm joined by violence monitor and honorary research associate at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, Professor Mary de Haas. Mary, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday View on eNCA. Thank you very much for your time. I mean, for as long as I can remember, KwaZulu-Natal has become a hotbed of political violence. Now and again gets better and other times gets worse. We are now heading towards local government elections already. We understand people are being killed in what might be linked to politics. Should we expect an escalation, or is that being a bit melodramatic?
Good afternoon, everybody. The sound isn't too good, I'm afraid, so I hope I get your question right. Look, there are the usual tensions. There have been incidents. There was a guy killed at Glebelands on Sunday, which may or may not be related to the violence, because this guy that was killed had been a very leading opponent of the councillor who's now been displaced as a candidate. There have been threats in the South Coast area to a candidate. There's the shootings, of course, at Inanda, which took place outside of where a meeting was being held, and we don't know what the dynamics, what the motives were, just to gun down 3 women like that. And now we have huge tensions brewing in Pietermaritzburg, and again threats allegedly from a councillor who's likely to be removed as a candidate from the ANC because he is facing criminal charges. And there was violence at a meeting there at the weekend. In fact, one of the people injured was Thabiso Zulu on Saturday. And a friend of his, who is a witness in the criminal case against the councillor, was stabbed and is in a serious condition in hospital. So this is the sort of tension we've got brewing at the moment. And it's quite serious, because in the Maritzburg case, in fact, even in this South Coast case where the local successful candidate was almost killed because there were gunmen outside her house, her brother was killed, and the local police don't seem to have done anything about it. And in Pietermaritzburg, there are very serious allegations that the police were present at this meeting at which this witness was stabbed, badly injured. They did nothing, and that they are now trying to fabricate false charges against the injured people because the police are complicit, allegedly complicit, with the councillor who is facing the charges.
That's a serious, Sorry, Mary, that's a very, if I may come in, if I may come in there, that's a very serious allegation that's being made against police colluding with some people they were fighting over these council seats. But should we anticipate more violence in KZN before the 1st of November?
Well, we could well do, because you see, the problem is the IEC has reopened the candidate selection process, as well as voter registration is going on. But the real contestation is around the post for councillor, because don't forget, there's a huge amount at stake there, because these people, most of them, would be unemployable if they weren't councillors. And as councillors, they're not providing service delivery, so many of them, the ones that were excluded and may now try to make a comeback, they're losing a hefty salary, they're losing perks, bodyguards, they're losing, of course, tender opportunities. So that's what it's all about. I mean, we've known this for years, and the sad thing is that so little has been done about it. But the real problem is alleged police collusion. And it's not just, this is a very classic example, because these are the very police in Pietermaritzburg, and allegedly implicating the same councillor, who were responsible for irregularly arresting Tabiso Zulu last year and seriously assaulting him and a pregnant woman. So this is the really serious thing, because we should be able to count on the police to be present at meetings, to make sure they're safe, and then to make sure that criminals are prosecuted. That's not happening in many areas.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to have to speak to Police Minister Bheki about that as well, because those are serious allegations. As you said, they should be protecting everybody ahead of the elections and not taking sides. Mary de Haas, thank you for your time at this hour here on the Midday View on eNCA.